Hey everybody, this is Niall and Alex with the Drive Home Movie Review. And I just saw the amazing digital circus final act. Episode 9 or 10. Alex and I just went on a trip to Thailand. Phenomenal trip. While on the trip, I came across this YouTube series called The Amazing Digital Circus. And from what I could tell, it got good reviews. The YouTube algorithm recommending it to me, so I trusted the algorithm. I went through the 8 30-minute episodes online, last one that is available on YouTube, and then it just turns out that the same week I'm watching it, I guess because of the algorithm, they're coming out with the movie in theaters, select theaters. It's created by Gooseworks, who is a content creator online who's really made a name for herself with graphics, who is the producers from what I understand. But I literally just watched the whole series and then the movie all in the course of 1 week. And as I was watching the series, I was really surprised that I was getting into it as much as I did. It's a very cartoony 90s 3D online kind of presence, but it follows these characters that get sucked into this digital circus world, and they don't know why they're there or they don't know how to escape, but they're under the control of this mastermind AI creation named Kane. It's like this talking mouth with eyes in the mouth, and all the characters look crazy. But you mainly follow Pomni, who is the main character. She's like a clown manifestation, and she's introduced to this world. She learns about it. They go on all these adventures. You follow these characters as they figure a way to escape this kind of prison digital circus they're in, and you find out more of what the backstory is, why they're there, what this world is. I waited about 2 days before we got done with the trip, and I finished the last episode, and I went to the theaters. Alex did not watch the show with me. I wasn't even sure I was going to be into it, but I figured she wouldn't like it. You know, after watching this movie, I think she would like this. I gotta say, this movie was really good. If you are on the precipice, if you're not sure if you think you would like this show, I would highly recommend giving it a shot. This movie kind of took me by surprise because it's an hour and 38 minutes long, and it does take the last episode available on YouTube and add it into the movie. So for the first 30 minutes of the movie, I was like, oh shit, did I already watch the finale? All they did was take that last episode, put it in at the beginning of this movie, and then the last hour of the movie is the new episode that is shown in theaters, which all of this will be available on June 19th on YouTube. Gooseworks did a great job creating this show. It really feels to me like we are on the next stage of movie making. For so long it's been this like capitalistic, here's Disney and all these big conglomerates that are sucking up each other and becoming just bigger and making this crap and reboots and pumping out just stupid crap all the time. And with this, the Backrooms and several other movies that we've recently reviewed, it feels like we are moving into a new stage of movie making where producers and the money is not afraid to any longer get behind independent creators. We don't have to deal with these reboots and remakes of all this crap we've already seen and has already been well explored. It seems like success of these movies that are independent are doing so well that we may soon be out of the stage of bad movies into a whole new world of independent and fresh ideas by content creators and small-time people creating things on YouTube, and Obsession is another one. And this movie, it explores all the things you wanted to know by the end of watching all of the episodes. Why they're there, what the program is, who Kane is, who the characters are. Every answer you could want to be answered is answered in this movie, and it was so satisfying. I am just really impressed. On Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 94% is what audiences are saying. It's such an independent film that it's not even got critics' reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, at least yet. I finished the series believing that this movie would probably be an 80 for me, and based off the episodes I would have given it an 80%. But after having watched this final act in the movie, I'm giving this a 94. I'm going to agree with what Rotten Tomatoes has. Very short. I like that. I probably would have shown up late. If I had known, I'd already seen the first 30 minutes of the movie. Voice actors did a great job. The story itself is just what was so good. The digital aspect of it, like the creation of the actual art itself, is very 90s-ish. Or watching an N64 game, it's a little higher quality than that, but there's even characters that look like an N64 game. Like there's this Bubble character that is an assistant to the main antagonist, Kane, that looks like a big chain ball thing from Mario 64. But you can tell where they get a lot of the inspiration from like 90s video games. But yeah, man, this was just really good. So there's like 3 acts. There's the retelling of the last episode. And then the second act goes into this melodrama that is just super emotional about how devastated these characters are by the situation they're in. Even finding out what they are or where they are and how devastating that is for them. I can't believe I was getting emotional watching this. I mean, I was almost brought to tears, like finding out and connecting with these characters. I even felt like I learned a little bit about being a human, like about opening up to other people and the importance of friendship and the importance of connection with other humans. And then the last act goes into the main antagonist and his decisions as what he is and learning what his abilities are and what he needs to do, right versus wrong, good versus bad. So if you have watched the episodes, I highly recommend going to check this out in theaters. It was a really rewarding experience, but of course it's going to be available June 19th, so you could just watch it then. I don't know if I would have got the same reaction watching it on a screen. Being stuck in a movie theater, forced to sit down and watch this on a big screen, I don't know, the movie just really connected with me. It was really emotional, like I said. And then that last act just was super satisfying. Even down to the credits was satisfying, and then even down to the post-credit scene. Yes, there is a post-credit scene, and I highly recommend to stay for it. Even the post-credit scene was like cherry on top. I thought this was such a good show. I'm just really impressed that I liked it as much as I did. From looking online, I kind of felt ashamed that I watched this series because it kind of seems like a very nerdy thing to watch, and I'm sure it is a very nerdy thing to watch, but like I said, it was just really done very well. So after watching this movie, I'm excited for what comes next for movies. I'm not expecting, I don't think there's any way, maybe they will, but I don't see any way of doing like a remake, a part 2 of this series. But this was just great. So everyone that created this, good job. Thank you for this experience, and go check it out. All right, spoilers, 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 spoilers. So, spoilers. So you find out that all of the characters are supposedly brain scans, and they have to come to accept that they are not humans who can escape. They are recreations of people from the outside world made into digital form, and there's no escape for them. So they come to terms with that in Act 2 of the movie, with Act 1 being, like I said, the last episode available on YouTube. The character Jax, it's abstracted at the end, in the middle, and you learn about what he was dealing with on the outside world, how important it was for him to connect with other people. There's just so much relatability to that. You know, people go through just difficult things in their lives, and coming to learn how to connect and open up to people is just such a valuable thing to have as a human. And then also learning to accept others and be there for others, despite whatever misgivings or whatever's going on with them, is so valuable too. I just thought that was very good how they did that and connected that moral to this story. But then you find out that this AI, this red AI, which is Kane, kind of like the bad AI, was created at a fundamental level. They added these things into it so that he could create this digital world. But then there's this other blue AI that I'm not sure I fully understand yet, but it's more of like, from what I saw online, it described it as affable. Put the definition here. The affable AI, and the red AI eats up the blue AI and takes over, and it's just control and pain and torture, and definitely a story about how AI is potentially going to be very harmful to human beings, and we are seeing that play out today. A lot of power, no regulations, things are underway. But then the AI at the end comes to learn through human interaction that control is not what it needs. If it wants to be accepted as humans and experience life as humans, control is not what it needs. It needs connection and free will, which is something the AI in this movie, Kane, has trouble experiencing. But then he starts to figure out how to do that by releasing the blue AI and learning to live in peace with the humans without trying to control them. I thought that was all very well done. I thought it was a great telling of a story with the moral and so many different morals within that moralistic story. And then you learn that Kane, at the end, he decides to let the humans have their free will, or the digital creations of these humans. And you learn that he has actually taken all of these characters. They've not been sucked out of the real world and put into the digital world. He is just a program that was created by this CNA Program Institute that was an AI that, after eating the blue AI, went rogue, got into a public Wi-Fi on a bus, on a public Wi-Fi, and started getting all this material off of people's social media, and then using the social media identities and profiles and pictures and stories and posts to create each of these digital characters. Then these characters are brought to life through the AI, and they live in this world. And at the end, they learn to accept that they're in this world, and the AI is no longer trying to control them, but befriend them and be part with them. And then they live in harmony in whatever the digital circus becomes next, and they can enjoy their adventures and their life together like that. Just so surprised at how much I like that show. Does that make me a nerd? Yes. Does that make me a happy human? Yes. Give it a shot. If you had other takes on it that maybe I missed, or maybe I misinterpreted something, let me know. Was Bubble, do you think Bubble, I think Bubble was like the manifestation or the ghost of the blue AI living through Kane, kind of, whispering things to him. There's just so much to unpack with this. And as goofy as it looks, like a kid's show, it's just Disney and Pixar back whenever Toy Story was being made. It was like new, enjoyable content with morals, just original content, stories. I'm glad I watched that. Yeah, that's the review. Toodaloo! And as Alex would say, love ya. Okay, hear me when I'm dogging you, talking to you. What?